Welcome back to Big Mouth and welcome to the Big Mouth Daily Live. Now, you may have seen me trying to do this about 5 minutes ago, it going wrong. Instead of saying the Big Mouth Daily, I said the DCU Daily, so I just cut it. So it's kind of like BTS, like an outtake. Take it like that. Good morning, Bobcat. Welcome to the Big Mouth Daily Live. Yes, we're going to read an article right now, and please keep your comments coming in while I'm doing it, and I will read them out, questions, comments, whatever. But Tom Welling wants to play Superman with Robert Pattinson's Batman. Remember, you can tag me and find me on Twitter at MoviesTVMad. Smallville star Tom Welling opens up in a recent interview about wanting to star alongside friend Robert Pattinson in the Batman film series. Wait, Tom Welling and Robert Pattinson are friends? Wow. By Devon Musgrave Johnson. That's a mouthful. It's like 6:30 in the morning here. Anyway, Smallville star Tom Welling has made it clear that we would love to once again play Superman, this time playing the iconic hero alongside Robert Pattinson's Bruce Wayne in the Batman. Welling is well versed in playing Clark Kent from 2001 to 2011. Bobcat, I actually want this to happen. I love Smallville. Oh, so do I. I was obsessed with it. I love it. It's one of the best DC live action franchises ever, as far as I'm concerned. Playing Clark Kent from 2001 to 2011, he starred as young Kent on the show Smallville, which originally ran on the WB before the channel merged with the CW. The worst thing that happened to the show was the CW, by the way. During Smallville's 5th season, the show focused on Kent's journey to becoming the Man of Steel, showing him navigating bad guys, alien origins, and the terrors of high school. Welling also reprised this role in the 2019 as part of the 6th annual Arrowverse crossover event, Crisis of Infinite Earths on the CW, which to me will never be Smallville canon. Superman must always be Superman. Sorry, Clark, you don't get not to be Superman. And sorry, Greg Berlanti. Also in 2019, it was announced that Pattinson would be taking the helm as Bruce Wayne after Ben Affleck left the DCEU project that had been in the works since 2014. Pattinson will debut as the newest Batman to grace the big screen in Matt Reeves' The Batman, set to premiere in March 2022. The cast also includes Zoe Kravitz, because Jason Momoa's her dad, as Catwoman, Colin Firth as the... Colin Firth! I don't consider that crossover Smallville canon, Bobcat. Nor do I, mate. Nor do I. What a joke that was. He's Superman. It ended the way it did on the show. Listen to this. They've got Colin Firth down as the Penguin. No. You mean, what's his bloody name now? We not look. Anyway, Colin Farrell. Colin Farrell's playing the Penguin, and they've got Colin Firth down here. I tell you what, these people shouldn't even call themselves journalists. And Andy Serkis as Alfred Pennyworth. The film will skip the Bruce Wayne to Batman origin story that fans have seen many times. Well, it's not exactly skipping it, but you say whatever you want. Before and instead skipped straight to his second year as the Caped Crusader. Yeah, it is year 2, that is true. I'll give you that. But there will be flashbacks to his origin. Sorry to disappoint you. I know how people get triggered because, oh no, we got to see another origin. Live with it. People want to see it. I do anyway. 2 sequels and a prequel are already planned following the release of The Batman. In a recent interview with El Mundo Geek, Ernestontio, whatever that is, Welling talked about his time reprising his role as Superman in Crisis on Infinite Earths and mentioned that he would love the chance to play Clark alongside his friend Robert Pattinson. When asked if he would be interested in appearing as Superman in a film like The Flash, set to premiere in 2022, Welling seemed open to the idea. He stated that he thought it would be cool to appear in one of the planned sequels to The Batman because Pattinson is his friend. Watch the interview below. Because The Batman already exists in a separate timeline than that of the recent Justice League film starring Affleck as Bruce Wayne, some have speculated that this could open the door for more dimension-bending crossovers, similar to the Arrowverse crossover. Furthermore, on-set photos from a party scene in the film show characters dressed like Superman and Wonder Woman, suggesting that these characters will exist within the universe of Reeves' film. They will. It is unclear what Welling's role would look like, however, as his recent appearance depicted Clark Kent as having given up his powers to work on his parents' farm and raise his children, the most pathetic decision ever. Why do you think Michael Rosenbaum said no? Do you understand now? Michael made the right decision because he actually cared about what he was doing on Smallville and didn't just come back to do the money. Sorry, Tom, but facts are facts. Love you, dude, but facts are facts. Though nothing is confirmed, it seems that there are multiple routes through which Welling could reprise his role on either the big or the small screen. Welling's Smallville co-star Michael Rosenbaum, who played Lex Luthor in the show, even hinted at a possible animated continuation of the show. As for the Batman, there have been no comments on the possibility of Welling's Superman appearing in the films. For now, fans will have to wait and see if anything comes of these statements. So very, very interesting. Bobcat, I think Reeves will create his own Earth with multiple different versions of DC characters. Yes, Bobcat. Basically, as soon as I saw those fancy dress people, it was obvious, isn't it? He's basically crafting his own Earth, which is very, very exciting because this is why it doesn't matter. If you're opposed to a black Superman, and I am not opposed to a black Superman, by the way, at the end of the day, right, we're going to have a white Superman. We're going to have a black Superman. Chill, right? They're going to give us everything. I said this from the moment this strategy, this multiverse strategy was announced. You're going to have it all. So stop complaining that this poor guy who hasn't been cast as a black Superman yet is replacing your beloved Henry Cavill. I like Henry Cavill. I don't think he's done. Do I think he'll get a film again? Probably not, but he'll get cameos. But I think there'll be somebody else who might get kind of the white Superman role. I don't know. There's a lot of things you can do. There's a lot of potential here. So I don't think anything's closed off. And, devout Snyder fans going on Twitter saying that this new Superman is replacing Henry Cavill on his birthday is a lie. And again, Ray Fisher's been mouthing it off about Walter Hamada. I'll read it in a moment. But would I like to see Tom Welling return as Superman? I would like nothing better, right? Because for 10 years, we saw him as a teenager, as a young man in his 20s, taking that character-driven journey to see how Clark Kent becomes Superman. Bobcat, I think the Batman will make big box office money. Oh, big success. Already, it's written in the stars, isn't it? So we saw this brilliant pre-Superman story, and it was fantastic, and it worked from beginning, middle to ending. But I'd love to see him back, and I'm desperate to see Michael Rosenbaum's Lex. I suspect, he was talking about the Batman sequels there. I suspect that Tom has a big chance, and Michael Rosenbaum as Lex, in being in Flashpoint. Again, I'm hyping something up that may not happen. Be aware of that. But at the end of the day, I think there's definitely an avenue here for things like this to happen. And it's interesting now, Welling coming out saying he's more than interested in playing Superman. Rosenbaum saying he's interested in developing an animated Smallville with Tom Welling. These noises are being made. Not only all of a sudden are they interested, obviously their careers in terms of entertainment have dried up. Michael doing Inside of You, but I think I'm shocked. When I used to watch Smallville, I used to say Rosenbaum was going to win an Oscar within 5 to 10 years. I am stunned what's happened to him and his career. It looks like a personal choice not to continue within the industry. He was in Guardians Volume 2 because James Gunn is his mate. Bobcat, I'd love Smallville to continue on HBO Max possibly. Same with Gotham, but following Batman more. Well, do you know what? When Smallville was active, us fans were, do a Metropolis spin-off. And I think back then, Welling just didn't want to be Superman. He didn't want to put the costume on. And I personally would have used all the other actors and recast him. As great as he was, if you don't want to do the job, mate, you don't want to do the job. It's as simple as that. You can't keep on begging people, can you, at the end of the day? So I would love to see a return of Smallville as a Metropolis spin-off, or a Smallville season 11 adaptation would be a lot of fun. But I do suspect that we'll see some of these Smallville alums in Flashpoint. As we all said from the very beginning, we have got a multiverse strategy. Everything is canon now. There's nothing that's not canon. You can have two Superman versions of Superman running around, 2 versions of Batman, 2 versions of Penguin. It doesn't matter. This is the thing about this strategy. It's going to work for Marvel and it's going to work for DC as well. People are saying who's going to do it best. I think both of them are going to do it best. I think this is the potential of the situation now. So Bobcat, but we have Titans this July, so I'm excited for that. Yeah, I haven't. I mentioned this last night. I haven't seen Titans since the beginning of season 2. Something happened at the beginning that bored me. I don't know what it was. I think it was too slow in the first couple of episodes, so I just kind of went snooze fest. Right. So let's talk. Oh, whoops! I just spilled all my water. That wasn't a good idea, was it? As I said when I first came onto this video, right? I tried to start one stream. I stood up. I was going to do this dramatic unveiling, and it all went wrong. And I said, "Welcome to the DCEU Daily." So I had to start again. So if you're interested in an outtake and me making a twat of myself, check out that video because I have no idea how you delete YouTube videos. Bobcat, this new season is going to be amazing. Yes, I mean, they're doing a lot of stuff, aren't they? I mean, they're promising a lot of stuff. So let's see. Look, the show's kind of got itself into a full run, hasn't it? So it's doing well for itself. It's not going anywhere, which is really cool. Now let's read these Ray Fisher comments. I've quote tweeted him as well, by the way, but let's have a look. Let's have a look. Here we are, right? This is the Ray Fisher stuff, right? The irony of Walter Hamada's situation is that in his attempt to protect Geoff Johns, he was hoping to move beyond the drama of Justice League. Instead, he landed himself right in the middle of it. Accountability over entertainment. Now, let me tell you what I quote tweeted him, right? Or you tried landing him in the middle of it. You understand that Walter is the president of DC and not Warner Brothers. In simple terms, so you understand, he told you that he was what he was told to say, because some people like working in entertainment. He's not really in a situation, is he, Ray? So, right, so he can't help himself. When he hasn't mentioned something for a long time, when he hasn't said something for a long time, he wants to make sure everyone knows, he's after them. Going after Walter Hamada is so illogical. And look, listen to what he says. I think Walter is trying to move on from Justice League. I think we're all trying to move on from Justice League, shall we say. It's done. It's over. It's 4 years ago now. He's not going to do anything to Walter Hamada. He's targeting Walter Hamada because they want his job. Do you understand? That's the job they need. They need that job to go so they can get their people in. Unfortunately, that is just not realistic at this moment. Walter Hamada has a contract till 2022. If the Flashpoint movie works, then he's getting another contract, baby. It's as simple as that. If the Flashpoint movie doesn't work, then Hamada is out. And maybe Snyder's got a way back in. But, it's 50-50 for me. So it's just a pathetic, and as usual, the usual I stand with Ray Fisher, accountability over entertainment, blah, blah, blah. It's just a bullshit statement. It doesn't mean anything. He makes out like Geoff Johns is some kind of serial killer. What has Geoff Johns actually done? Please explain to me, Ray. Right? I've explained the angry black man thing, right? Now, the whole thing that he didn't want the lead in Krypton to be played by a black actor is perfectly understandable. He didn't want Seg-El to be played by a person of color in that iteration. He had decided on the actor. They had decided on the actor. They didn't want to cast. And I know they auditioned an actor of color, and he seems great. No offense to him, but who was going to watch that? Who was going to watch a black Seg-El, right? It's one thing to do, a black Superman, and I get it. And if that black Seg-El is actually a version of one of the Supermen of color, then that's cool, and I would have loved that. I'd love an Injustice movie. Zack would do great with that. He certainly would. But you could argue that Zack Snyder's Justice League Snyder Cut is kind of an Injustice movie, but not totally, I understand. Look, an Injustice movie would be great, and Zack could really go for it. There's a lot of directors who could do well with that. And maybe we'll get that because it really is a niche tale. So you have to do it in a certain way. And Zack could certainly do that. But just final thing on these Ray Fisher, this Ray Fisher tweet. It's nothing. It's weird and it doesn't do anything. And it certainly doesn't hurt Walter Hamada. I'm sure he thinks that every time he speaks that something happens. Nothing happens here, Ray. Nothing's happening here, Ray. Right? But it's an uncomfortable situation because it means people who are running DC now can't have Twitter accounts. Walter Hamada can't have Twitter accounts because we know he's going to be harassed and bullied. We know that. It's obvious, right? As soon as he comes on Twitter, hello everyone, blah, blah, blah. We're doing this film, we're doing that film. They're going to come after him. Bobcat, Aquaman 2 is the next film after The Flash, so I wonder how it will affect Aquaman, or if it even will. Yeah, I don't think it's going. Yeah, this is interesting. They clearly must be in some kind of conference together. Listen, if there's any changes, they'll be told. It's looking like that film won't affect Flashpoint. So this is interesting. It's kind of still going to be the same universe. They're just I think what they're doing is they're adding certain characters to it. I think that's where the change is coming. And so I think that's interesting. But I don't think Aquaman 2 was ever going to be kind of affected by it. But I think what we're going to see in a lot of these films, everyone gets to do their movie and it's focused with their stuff. And as I said last night, they'll probably have post-credit scenes to kind of forward the arc story they're telling, but probably the films won't be interfered with. You may get cameos and stuff. Some films may have crossovers, but this James Wan Aquaman sequel, I don't think will be affected. So that's just how I see that. And we've actually got some casting. By the way, where are we? Yes. DC's Blue Beetle is ramping up cast as Isabella Alvarez has been cast in a supporting role and Liz Gallardo has been cast for the antagonist role recently. So we've got a lot of females. That should be fun. Anyway, yeah, looking forward to Blue Beetle. Excited by this casting. I've never heard of them, by the way. I'm just excited that we're moving on the casting, and I can't wait. So Blue Beetle has got a lot of Latino representation, which I'm in big support of. It's good that we're getting other representation apart from the most represented minority in Hollywood. So that's great at long last. And forget the minority stuff and the representation stuff. Blue Beetle is a great character. So I'm looking forward to seeing this. Now, is this a cinematic movie? Is this an HBO Max thing? I'm not quite sure, but I'm really excited for it. So we've basically got two new young actresses cast, one as an antagonist and one as a kind of sidekick or something, I think. So I'm looking forward to Blue Beetle, the live-action version. The Suicide Squad supposedly has 2 post-credit scenes. I'm winding you up. I haven't seen any post-credit scenes with it. They don't give you those. They don't give you those with test screenings anyway. So I wouldn't know. So yes, now this is a good little article. If you're a comic book fan, Batman writer James IV shares his approach to the future of DC Comics back titles, which will include the rise of former Robin, Tim Drake. Any Tim Drake fans? Batman writer reveals Tim Drake will be part of X-Men style new era. Batman writer James Tynion IV shares his approach to the future of the back titles, which will include the rise of former Robin Tim Drake by Andrew Firestone. As DC Comics kicks off its Infinite Frontier continuity, I like Tim Drake, especially the storyline with Stephanie Brown. Yeah, I like Tim Drake as well. Has revealed that Tim Drake, the former Boy Wonder, currently known as Red Robin, will play a sizable role in what is described as a new era for Gotham's crime fighters, partly influenced by the style of John Hickman. X-Men reboot, often put on the back burner in recent years, ceding the limelight to fellow former Robins Dick Nightwing, Grayson and Jason Red Hood. Todd Tynion hinted at a storyline in the near future across the back titles which will place Drake in the spotlight again. Tynion's work on Batman began in 2012, has seen him mastermind a series of great changes in Gotham City in recent years, including the death of Butler Alfred Pennyworth, the loss of Bruce Wayne's fortune, and the current state of anti-vigilantism by the Gotham authorities that sets the stage for many of the titles with a new status quo for Gotham, where the heroes find themselves at odds with law enforcement, and a series of secret plots unfolding that signal dark tidings on the horizon. Tynion's role in crafting the future of the character and his associate personalities has never been more important. In recent postings on his blog, The Empire of the Tiny Onion, published on Substack.com, Tynion related a few updates and anecdotes from sessions in the writer's room at DC Comics and confirmed that Drake will return to a featured role in an upcoming crossover event across the back titles, saying there's some Tim Drake stuff coming that I am particularly thrilled about and cannot wait for you all to read. Teenage Tim Drake fanboy James was cheering on his feet, reading the outline of his upcoming story. He added that Drake would not be only sometimes neglected back character to receive limelight writing. For the last decade of working in Gotham City, there was so many times where people would ask about their favorite Bat family member and not be able to explain the weird internal politics that were acting as a barrier to seeing those characters get the spotlight they deserve. But right now, there's a plan for all of them. Gotham City is a whole superhero universe in and of itself, and we are all working together to build this exciting tapestry of superhero awesome that brings each of them forward and lets them shine. And this is, of course, no accident that this is while Jim Lee has taken over the comics and is in charge of everything now, that these things are being made, characters like Tim Drake are being allowed to be used, where before, politically, they weren't allowed to be used. And that's interesting. So there's a lot of positive stuff going on in the comics since AT&T took over. Also, Mick, it allowed for DC fan films to be produced by other people, which is awesome, isn't it? Who allowed that then? Who allowed the DC fan films to be produced by other people? Is it AT&T? Is it Jim Lee? Maybe you know about that, Bobcat. Tynion had, in a previous post, drawn a comparison of his approach to Batman to that of Jonathan Hickman's in his X-Men reboot, which has been the X franchise spin-out into a widely unpredictable yet excitingly irreverent vision of the famed mutant adventures in recent years. The prime ingredient for quality, if somewhat weird storytelling, Tynion noted, was to embrace the cacophony wrote from the myriad of plot elements left over by necessity from decades-long continuity. He noted his admiration in Hickman's approach for trying to move the whole franchise forward without shying away from the sheer breadth of the insanity of their 60-year publishing history, and said he was attempting a similar overarching style. Wow. He said this: I want to embrace the fact that we're further down the timeline in Gotham than we ever have been before, while creating new entry point characters for new readers to jump in on. The whole experience with I want to embrace the insanity of living in a superhero universe with a nightmare city full of colourful street ninjas, fighting cyborgs, and murder clowns. Sounds good to me. Tynion's remarks provide an interesting peek into the creative process of DC's writers, as well as the overall storytelling direction within DC's editorial department. Now, a year removed from the shake-up at DC in 2020, which saw the company lay off a reported third of their editorial department, James Tyrion IV gives credence to the solidity of DC's current creative direction for where Batman and his associate characters, including Tim Drake, are heading, which apparently includes a Halloween party with our good pal Scarecrow. They laid off a third of their people, yes. And as sad as I am for those people, and I don't want to see anyone losing their jobs, it was the right decision. And now we can see they're making better decisions. And DC Comics, forget what the fandom men say about Marvel and DC being dead. We all know that's not true. It's because politically they don't like the direction they're going in, and that's a conversation for another time. But as far as AT&T's handling of DC Comics, remember the rumors that they were going to sell DC Comics, close it down? What utter nonsense. They're doing very, very well with it. And I think it's going from strength to strength. So, Bobcat, I was talking a while back about making a Teen Titans fan film to some friends, and one of them reached out to me today saying he'd help produce it if I wrote a good script. Wow, go for it, go for it. I'd love to see that. You're definitely very creative, you're very passionate about DC, and that's great. My problem is selecting team members. There are so many, I don't know who to choose. If you had to put a Teen Titans team together, who would you choose? Whoa, wow. Superboy, definitely. Who else would I put in there? I don't know. You know what? My knowledge of Teen Titans isn't that good. But I think Dick Grayson. I think obviously Superboy is awesome. I mean, really, the characters in the Teen Titans TV show, you can't really go wrong. But my advice to you really is what I would say is choose the characters that mean something to you. So put in characters that you're passionate about, because when you're writing them, it'll be more effective. That's what I would do if I were you, because it's a fan film, it's not a real film. You can choose what means something to you. You're not trying to make $1 billion at the box office or anything. You're making something that means something to you. So choose the characters that you like. That's my advice to you. Yeah, I can't think of all the characters' names. I'm really shit with character names. I mean, I still don't know all the Game of Thrones characters. But yeah, definitely choose characters that you like. I think that's awesome. So that's a good little story, a good little article there, and I really enjoyed reading that. It looks like DC Comics are under AT&T is going from strength to strength, and I believe this is the direction the films are going in. And I think it's going to be interesting what certain people say when these films hit and they start to do well. I mean, what are they going to say? I mean, is Ray Fisher in 200 years' time going to be going, Walter Hamada, Jeff Johns, I'm going to get you? Because this will get old very fast. Because a couple of mornings ago, I was kind of confident about the Snyderverse thing. I was being silly because I thought some big thing was going to happen. But the truth is, it's done, isn't it? It's done. We're not going to get it. It's sad. It's sad that it's gone, but it's gone, isn't it? And I think I like the word gratitude a lot. I'm grateful for Man of Steel. I'm grateful for Batman versus Superman. And I'm grateful that we saw Zack Snyder's Justice League Snyder Cut. I always said, I wanted to see that film. There's no way I wanted, but really, we all know it does hurt a little bit. It does take a little bit away from it that the Snyder Cut isn't part of DCEU canon. I always naively hoped that it would be. And they took that away from us, and they took that away from Zack. But there's bad blood there. Bobcat, it's sad it's gone, but I'm thankful we got Zack's trilogy at least. Yeah, Bobcat, I agree. It's a great trilogy, isn't it? You can keep on, people can keep on saying, ooh. The thing is, right, and I said this, and I say this every day. Later on today, because I don't know what time it is where everybody else here on the chat is, but it's Friday here in Cyprus. It's about, what time is it? It's 7:05 in the morning in Cyprus. So later on today, in a few hours' time, Zack has a big announcement about either the film Army of the Dead or the franchise. He could be talking about another film he's making for it. Look, it's very, very exciting. This is going to be, and if we're talking about successful franchises, Army of the Dead, what I've seen from it so far, the trailers, looks amazing. So go over to Netflix, embrace the franchise, be thankful for what he did in DC. But if you're clearly just a Zack fan and not a DC fan, don't worry about it. It's over. It's not like he's been sacked and he's not doing anything else. He's got a brand new franchise for you. So stop boring on about Walter Hamada. Stop boring on about Joker, how they didn't make as much money. It's not your problem how much money Warner Brothers made. Warner, you know, the film made over $1 billion. That's not profit, obviously, because they had to spend money to make the film. But at the end of the day, I can assure you that Warner Brothers made a good chunk. Not as much as they would have done, but they brought investors in because the film was an unknown quantity. You didn't know it was going to be a success, and neither did I, right? Nobody did. So they brought the pillow and they softened the blow, and that's what they did. Stop going on, move on, go over to Netflix. That's the best place for you. Bobcat, the team I thought of was Dick, yeah, Dick Grayson or Tim Drake, Superboy, definitely, the Spoiler, Starfire, yeah, Beast Boy, yeah, oh, definitely Beast Boy. And that's all I've really got so far. I'm thinking of Raven, possibly. Oh, I love Raven. Do you watch the animated Teen Titans Go? I love that. It's so hilarious. To me, that's on the same level as The Simpsons or Family Guy. But the animated Teen Titans Go is so awesome. And they even made a movie a couple of years ago, didn't they? Which was fun. But I love that animated series. What's your favourite animated DC series? Mine is definitely, I've said this before, Batman the Brave and the Bold. I do like that. But although I've got a little place in my heart for the Green Lantern animated series. Oh, somebody's left the chat. I've upset somebody. Yeah, I do, Lowell. It makes me want to use Bumblebee. Yeah, that would be cool, wouldn't it? Yeah, the Teen Titans Go animated thing is just pure fun. It really is. And they even made a feature film, didn't they? In animation, of course. But yeah, always chills me out and relaxes me watching that series. So cool. So let's have a look to see if there's any more news going around. After all, this is the Big Mouth Daily. So let's have a look. So Paramount Plus plans to release Paranormal Activity 7 before the end of 2021. At this point, is anyone actually interested? Jesus Christ. You see, these are the kind of things I see on Twitter. Zack Snyder has the only coherent and straightforward plan for DC, restore the Snyderverse. Now, I love the sentiments, but at the end of the day, is it the only coherent? You don't know what their plan is, do you? That's the problem. So let's have a look. Any more news? Wrath of Man is releasing Friday in the US today, which is exciting. Mine is Batman Brave and the Bold or Batman the Animated Series. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think Brave and the Bold. I think Batman Brave and the Bold is just so amazing, and I love the variety. Matthew Pounder, the first two paranormal films were okay. Yeah, it was a groundbreaking thing, wasn't it, Matthew? And I liked it. And then this is the problem with Hollywood: success means sequels. Jesus Christ, we're even getting a Passion of the Christ sequel, although I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, to have 7 bloody movies is ridiculous. And now they're trying to, they're going to have it on Paramount Plus. I can't even have access to that. But do you know what? Is there actually anything on there worth watching? I reckon streaming shows will die within 20 years, or streaming platforms. Bobcat, I got my Spiral tickets today. What's Spiral? Is that the next Paranormal Activity? What's Spiral, Bobcat? If you could tell me, let me know what Spiral is. Bobcat is the next Saw movie. Oh, wow. Do you know what? I'm going to tell you a little secret. I've watched like one Saw movie, and I'm not sure if it's the first or second one. But that guy is mean, but I still think Freddy Krueger would beat the shit out of him. So what do we reckon? The Saw guy, whatever he's called, versus Freddy Krueger. Who would win? I'm going for Freddy. I reckon they should do a Freddy versus whatever his name is. That would be pretty awesome, don't you think? I think that would be great. So let's talk about Matt Reeves' DC Universe Earth 2. Now, this is kind of really interesting to me because, as I said earlier, it looks like he's building his whole Earth. He's got the whole world in his hands. But Freddie Lowe, yeah, definitely, Freddie would kill him. How's that for a wet dream? Oh, I love Freddie. Robert Englund. Two of the best performances by Robert Englund are as Freddie and as Willie in the miniseries V, in the alien invasion thing, if anyone's ever saw it. Robert Englund is just a legend. Freddie for sure, Bobcat. All Jigsaw has is traps, really, for innocent, powerless people. Yeah, I mean, Jigsaw, that's his name, Jigsaw. He's an intelligent bastard, isn't he, at the end of the day? But Freddie's just evil. Freddie just, oh, maybe they should join up. Maybe there should be a Freddy versus Jigsaw universe where they create this kind of conglomerate of scary, evil fuckers that just want to kill innocent people. Anyway, yeah, we were talking about Matt Reeves' DC universe. It's going to be very, very interesting because if it is what we think it's going to be, which is him creating a Superman, a Wonder Woman, you know, a Plastic Man, whatever, it's going to be interesting. He does look like a guy who is creating a world. You know what? You know who he reminds me of, Matt Reeves? Tim Burton. When he gets talking about what he's doing, there's no shutting him up. And I remember that at last year's Fandom, he just talks. I thought he was going to be one of these, you know, these creatives like this, you know, and I'm so important in this. But he's so accessible. He seems like such a nice guy. And I fell in love with the guy and what he was saying from DC Fandom. So he seems like a really good guy, and he's kind of this mad genius. That's what he looks like to me when he starts talking about the Batman. This nutty professor like Tim Burton. I mean, I love Tim Burton, but yeah, and I think he's forging his own world here, and he's so invested. And I think if this is the case, if he's actually developing an Earth 2 with all these characters in, this is great for them. Now, we've already been told they're not going to focus on other Earths so much at this moment in time. It's Earth 1 mainly, but Earth 2, which is his Earth, if he's allowed to create his own characters, because there's got to be other characters on this Earth as well. So it makes sense. And what instills so much faith in me in this new Earth is that Matt's going to be developing it. By the way, this is my Superman robe. What do you think? Do you like my Superman robe? My brother got it for me. It's one of the best things he ever got me. He doesn't get me good presents. He literally just gives me anything he can pick up. So I think this is an awesome one. So this is why I tried to do the big reveal this morning, standing up. But it didn't work out, and I killed the stream. As I say, it's BTS for you to make fun of me. You can screenshot it, and it was terrible. I couldn't do it. Anyway, yes. Yeah, so it'd be interesting what kind of Superman we would get, what kind of Wonder Woman we would get. Not going to lie, I never thought I'd make one fan film that now I have 4 in production. I'm writing the Suicide Squad, Teen Titans 1, and my friend is writing Batman and Flash scripts. I'm directing. It's a beautiful thing, isn't it? This is the thing, isn't it, Bobcat? I mean, you may become a very successful young creative, and I hope that you do. But also, you may not be. But never stop expressing yourself. Never stop being creative. You don't have to be successful. It could be a sideline. As I say, I don't know how good you are. You may be really successful. What I'm saying is always take joy in expressing yourself and doing an art form that you're passionate about, like you clearly are. Just do the job, enjoy it. Don't think about anything else. And whatever happens, happens. So it's great that your dreams are coming true. Because when I was growing up, people said to me, be realistic, get a real job. And basically, I ended up going from one job to the other because I was unsatisfied, because the adults in my life wouldn't allow me to be myself. And this is what happens in life. Bobcat, I love the robe. Where can I get one, lol? I don't know, to be honest with you. My brother got it for me. He probably found it at some market store in the UK or something. I'll ask him. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's very hot in Cyprus, though, so I shouldn't be wearing this. But I kind of look cool in it, don't I? Don't say not. Don't say not. So, yeah. So it's very interesting now with this Earth 2 situation with Matt Reeves and what we're going to get from him. I really do think it could be amazing, and ultimately it could be something that pays dividends. And now we know that Matt Reeves and J.J. Abrams have worked together before. So they're mates. So that's good. With J.J. Abrams literally taking over Warner Brothers Pictures, that's very important. Bobcat, thanks for the inspiring words. It means a lot to me. Well, it's not I mean, I wasn't trying to be inspiring. I was trying to what I was trying to do is make you understand that it's doing the thing. I wanted to inspire you, don't get me wrong, but I wasn't trying to do a William Wallace or something. But the point being that I've been doing this channel for 3 years. Now, if I was just doing this to get 1 million subs, and it hasn't happened, obviously, nowhere near, I would have given up on it. But I'm not giving up on this channel because I enjoy doing it. Because even if one person watches the video, that's good for me. But I'm going to tell you something else. I could do this talking to myself without anybody watching me because I'm so vain and I love the sound of my own voice. So whether it's one person or 1 million people, I will always do this stuff because of my vanity. I love the sound of my own voice. It's so cool, right? So you're welcome, Bobcat. Keep doing what you're doing. And of course, show me the results of it. Very, very interested. So when you do this, basically what you need to do first of all is tag me in your YouTube channel on my Twitter @MoviesTVMad. So do that if you set up your YouTube channel. Yeah, I'll give it a look and I'll give your stuff a look, definitely. And I'll come on this channel talking about your stuff as well. So don't worry about that. And so we can do that as well. Yeah, creative people are the best. People who have got the guts to express themselves. It's not easy to express yourself. It's not easy to put yourself out there. You will get a lot of negative opinions. Whatever happens, even as a fan movie, you'll have people giving you thumbs downs or thumbs up. Everyone has an opinion in the era of social media, don't they? So just ignore everyone, even the one being positive. Just do what you're doing. Just enjoy it, because at the end of the day, it is a fan film, obviously, and you want to please people. But at the end of the day, just do what you want to do. And, be respectful to the people who respect you, and people who disrespect you, just ignore them. Just ignore them. I try and ignore people who disrespect me because they hate that. People who disrespect you are trying to get attention. They're the most loneliest, angriest people in the world. And the more you don't respond to them, the better. That hurts them more than anything. Bobcat, wow, thanks. I mean, I've been told I can't do this, but it's been 3 years and I'm here now about to start production on one. Well, at the end of the day, it's all about determination, because the world will tell you, go out there, get a real job, be normal, get married, have kids, because that's what they fuck their lives up on that. They want you to fuck your life up on that and be normal. Don't be normal, but be anything but normal. Be yourself. Normality is the worst thing in the world. I see it. I see it all around me. And I'm so happy that I'm an abnormal freak. Make me a freak sitting on a YouTube channel looking as ridiculous as this and the other stuff that I do, than being some normie who's got themselves trapped in a marriage they're not happy in and never made their dreams come true. And now it's easier to make your dreams come true. You're going to start a YouTube channel. You're going to write these fan things. You're going to do animation. It may not be successful. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean you failed. Doing the thing means you've succeeded, because every time, every second you're doing this for, you're the most alive, because this is the thing you care about. And that's what's important in life, not what other people say. Fuck other people, because you'll be 6 foot under and you would have listened to all these fuckers telling you what to do with your life. No, I wasted enough of my life listening to people doing normal jobs, being normal. I don't want to be normal, thank you very much. There's nothing worse than being normal. Honestly, if you're a normal person, don't get me wrong, good luck to you, I love you. But normality is the worst. Normal people don't believe there's anything outside our solar system. Normal people, when they're told about Mars, get excited. When I hear people are going on Mars, I'm thinking, boring, how many more times? When can we travel outside of our solar system? What's out there? That's what I want to discover. Maybe I'll write a movie about that, outside of our solar system. I kind of know that George Lucas has already done that, but I want to go at it in a different way, because no one ever talks about it. Do you think our governments don't know that there's life and planets outside of our solar system? Of course they do, but they can't let us know, can they? They're too busy dumping shit on every planet in our solar system. They're not interested in exploration. There's two reasons that they're looking, they're always looking into space exploration: to dump our shit on other planets, and they know this world is dying, and they're going to move some of us, not all of us, just the ones that they think are good enough to create a super race. They'll move us and leave the rest of us here to die on this dying world that we've all polluted, right? That's how I see the world. It's a bit nuts, but it's as I say. At the end of the day, being normal. If you're normal, that's great. You're being yourself. But if you're not normal, don't pretend to fit in with the rest of these normies. Be proud. Be proud. What you can achieve in this world is amazing. Go for it. It's not about money. It's not about Bobcat. I've been told I'm good at writing banter and bringing misfits together as a team. So that makes me want to do it even more too. But it's great that people say you're good at doing it. But let me give you a scenario, because I think this is important. If you turn out not to be good at this, right? I'm just going to say this because who knows, right? But let's just say you turn out not to do a good thing, or something that's not highly entertaining. Let's put it that way. It doesn't mean you failed. It doesn't mean you've done something wrong. You did something you wanted to do, and you expressed yourself, and you wrote these characters that you loved. You won by doing it, because another 5 versions of you in a parallel universe were too scared to even take the risk, but you did it. And that is something beautiful, my friend. Never let people stop you from being you, because this generation, this era we're in, everyone is banishing people in groups of people and judging them as one. We are all individuals, and we are all beautiful and unique, and never let anyone dull your fire, my friend. And I think on that note, I think that's it for today. What time have we got here? 7:23. So I've got to have breakfast, and I've got to get my old man out of bed before I go shopping, get some money, blah, blah, blah. I really can't be asked today. Even if it fails, if I make it, I've succeeded in my eyes. Yes, exactly. You've done it. You've done it, Bobcat. You're doing it. That's amazing. You're brave. You're not a coward. You weren't too scared to do it, just in case some little person says it's not very good. The point is, you did it. You haven't got some huge investment from a studio or a network or a streaming service. You're just doing it for yourself and for your own personal enjoyment. So whatever happens, happens. But who knows, by doing it, you could have a very successful platform on your hands. And there's nothing more. It's the dream, isn't it? It's aspirational as well. You can have the dream until it's not possible anymore as well. So that's brilliant. Matthew Pounder, have a fab day, everyone. Have a fab day, Matthew. And I will see you all later. Thank you for the chat, especially Bobcat. And I will be back tonight with Big Mouth Live. Let's see what we'll be discussing then. Who knows what news will break. Exciting, eh? See you again tonight. I've got to get out of this get up. I am so hot. See you later, everyone. @Movies TV Man on Twitter. Come and say hi. Until tonight, goodbye.